story. You know, there was one episode, and obviously it was probably a Trump rally, where two supporters, or a supporter and a non-supporter, got into a scuffle, and I think the Trump supporter socked a guy. And this was a big deal because it looks like, aha, you know, the Trump supporters are really, really bad people, and they yelled and screamed about how horrible this guy was, and of course, if I'm accurate in what I'm describing, obviously he's wrong. I mean, they shouldn't be punching each other, and that was an act of aggression. But I wonder why they're never concerned. You mentioned about some of the things that we force ourselves around the world, but what about how the liberals and many conservatives think nothing of using force, physical force, but it's in a more subtle way because it's legal. It's the IRS that comes, or some bureaucrat, or somebody that's enforcing some regulation, a bank regulation, arresting you for laundering money and all these things. That's armed might, and they come in, and if it's used for the transfer of wealth, especially, and we would never tolerate it if we allowed somebody to come into our house and take their fair share. No, they're not allowed to do that, but they're allowed to send the government. And if we use the same principle that they deplore, that these are terrible people, and they're forcing people to do certain things, I mean, that's the nature of our business. I mean, we're remaking the Middle East. We run an empire. We're involved in nation building. And the more I read about and try to understand how the CIA is operating, not only internationally but domestically, that is even a force that's being used to change the system outside the political system. You know, people don't even talk about it, more so now than they used to, because, a lot of people now think about the CIA and how they most likely were involved in the Kennedy assassination and various other scandals that we've had in this country. So it is something that is very important to talk about, but it's the philosophy of it that makes people deplorable. You know, if you have a philosophy that it's legitimate to use government force to do bad things and think nothing of it, and try to say, well, those people are bad because there was a scuffle. Well, there shouldn't be a scuffle, but that is minuscule to the philosophy damage done by those who believe that it is the purpose of government to use force and intimidation and redistribute wealth and make everything fair and equal and make people behave better and make them culturally correct and political correctness. I mean, that is the monsters that's taking us out here.